I was feeling my line strategy. I was like, I'm just gonna sit still.
Let the line 5 deal with it. I'm just going to be my line 1 self and sit back and just let her be practical and efficient.
But I love the title. I love that you do the croissant in the other title.
I did the croissant.
That had me rolling. I was like, yes. And I knew exactly what you meant, surprisingly. Uh,
I love it. Well, how are you, my friend? How are you today? You're at the end of your day. How's it been?
it's been good. I had a massage for the first time in like 2 years or something.
Oh, I have a massage booked for this afternoon.
Oh, really? Yeah. It was like, it was like, I was like, fuck, I need to do this. I was like, it's probably like filling up like a 1980s roasted pickup. It's like, especially for how much I move, I was like, man, I just need to do this more. But
Mm,
uh, yeah, it was really good. So I've just been kind of integrating and taking it easy. I had a long weekend,
mm,
fun weekend, a lot of
mhm.
dancing, a lot of dancing, and yet no line twos ever in my profile.
I've only got one line too. The line that I don't have is line 3. I didn't have 3s or 6s, but then in the Star Pearl, I got a 6 for my stability, but I've got no 3s, not a 3 in sight,
You
which
know,
no, which
but
is
I just got
really it's interesting. And maybe we start there to because we're talking about the lines today, guys. Well, it's kind of a loose structure. We're going to chat about the lines and just the sheer power of understanding the essence of the 6 lines, because
mhm,
even though you've got the 64 gene keys with these beautiful archetypes, and of course they've got so much transformation in them for us, but the lines, I feel, have this really mystical yet very grounded teaching for us around navigating our humanness and how we are individually designed to navigate our humanness. And the lines really give an extra layer, like they're the backdrop that the gene key sits upon. So, even though you've got a 55 in your life's work, a 55 line 1 is so different from, say, a 55 line 3. And
mhm,
so there's just so much juice for us in that. But I find it really interesting to look at a profile and go, well, what lines aren't here in this profile? And so for you,
and
no line 2s, and for me, no line 3s. And tuning into the, I kind of get fascinated when I tune into that because I'm like, oh, no line 3s for me. And I'm someone that, like, I am multi passionate and I love to do lots of things. But then when I really think about it, that's not the way that life teaches me.
sure. Yeah.
Life doesn't teach me through experience in the way that a line 3 learns.
Mhm.
Life, yeah, teaches me. I'm heavy line 1, line 4, line 5. Life teaches me through community, connection. Life teaches me through solitude. Life teaches me through deep introspection. Life teaches me through leadership. Like, they're really these places where my journeys open up.
I see.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to frame it. Like when I think of it, it's like these are kind of like levels. Like I think the culture sphere does it the best because it's
Mm,
like these are the levels of the playing field where like these line energies are attuned. So it's like
yes.
at the level of the community, at the
Mhm,
level of society,
mhm.
but it doesn't mean they're just. I guess like when I think about a macro, it's like, oh, that's just like where electricity is flowing more predominantly. But
Mhm, mhm,
each gene key is made up of 6 lines, you
mm,
know,
mhm,
these 6 impulses of yin and yang. And that's what I was actually just like looking up. Before I got on, I was looking at one of the docs about how like real nerd stuff, like just how the the gene keys map down to the codon rings and
mhm,
how actually every gene key can actually be folded back into um like 4 trigrams. like a
Yeah.
constellation of three trigrams, but
Mhm.
no, I hope so. Three. As it can be you can collapse every key back into like four keys, which is like the 1, 2,
1, 2,
63.
63, 64. Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
and yeah, it's part of like a longer mystical thing. I've been thinking of it, but it illustrates how it's like, it's uh like how these like yin and yang influences constitute each gene key, and like
Mhm.
um where those energies like enter
Mhm.
into the
Mhm.
story. So um
Mm.
yeah, I think it's also cool, like knowing like our guides training. I think what's really fun is like one time, like I can't remember who does it, but Richard will go like do like a whole profile,
Just
just talking, just going through the lines,
yeah.
um and I don't know, like I have my internal relationship with each line,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I have people in my life that I think like exemplify
Mhm.
qualities
Mhm.
of those lines, and um also like gene keys that I think are like, oh, it's like this is like a line 3 gene key,
Yeah.
you know, and
Absolutely.
speaks to like that experience
Mm.
in a deep way. So there's a lot of
Mm.
different
So
aperture.
many ways you can utilize the lines, right? And I think that probably the number one way that I utilize it outside of guiding other people and them understanding themselves through the lines, like that's obviously, one of the most major ways that the lines help us. But the lines for me is like a lot about relationship and a lot about communication and a lot about connection because, while there's 64 gene keys and in a day you probably won't come into contact with all 64 gene keys like as a life's work through someone, chances are high that you'll come into contact with all 6 lines through people,
Mhm.
in a day when you're out and about or even within your family. Within your family, like, there might be the holders of all 6 lines, and just navigating these different ways of approaching life where, say, a line 1 life's work has a certain way of seeing life and a certain journey set out before them, and they might look at a line 3 life's work and be like, you're doing it wrong, or like, you're not stable enough, or if you just
Mhm.
settle down and find the one thing then you'll be happier. But then the line 3 is like, oh, I wouldn't want to live a life like you. And often we want people to see it the same as us. Whereas when we really deepen in our understanding of the lines, I think it has so much more compassion and understanding wrapped up in it for the way that other people's lives unfold and what's important to people and the
Mhm.
way that they might be triggered or the way that they, what it looks like for them to take care of themselves. And just within those 6 lines, even though there's only 6 of them, it really holds so many of the truths of what it means to be human and helps us to navigate our relationships in a way that holds space for these different ways of being and doing through the lens of the lines. Um, maybe what we can do today, Lawrence, is literally go from line 1 to line 6 and like have a little riff on some of the things that each of them makes us think
Yeah.
about. We can weave in the 7 sacred seals. We can kind of should we start with line 1 or do you wanna start with line 6? What do you reckon?
I think line 6, but I guess before I get to that is like just to comment on it'll flow right in, but like, like when you understand the lines, you really understand it's like each gene key its story begins to open up
Yeah.
in a different way. And
Mm.
because each line with a gene key creates a certain like unique archetype, like
Mhm.
in conjunction with like the Sage, which is like Richard's book that's forthcoming,
Mhm.
it like paints a deeper picture of these like 300 and you get
84.
384,
Yeah.
yeah, archetypes. And then so you
Mhm.
just have that one sliver of 384
Mhm.
and then like something like your life's work and your evolution. And it's like that's how you get this like just like magical yet like fractal diversity, you know? And uh yeah, I think I like what you said, like understanding the lines helps you kind of you understand like how people are oriented a bit more because you pick up those energies in the field in the moment. So it's like, oh, you have a gene key, and it's like, oh, it's like, but there's a certain um like agenda, you know, that plays in, and which is why it's like the six lines uh are like when you start navigating into like the Venus sequence or into the seals, like they become inseparable from um like the ways that we remain victim and the ways that we like free ourselves from victimhood at the same time, you know. Um so with
My
that being
dogs
said,
are
it's like
about to bark. I'm just gonna go on mute for a second because my sister just got home. You keep talking. I'm just gonna mute myself
bring them
so that
on.
they're
You're
not
gonna have to bring
crazy.
them on. If you have dogs, I need to see them. Just
Well,
so
there's one oh I can't even.
oh.
There's one there, and then there's
Oh,
two more outside. So maybe they're not gonna bark. Okay, let's just keep going. If they bark, I'll put
well,
myself on mute.
it's all good. Don't worry, the world's barking. Um, so it's like I think like the profile really takes you through a evolutionary story of the lines is how I feel it. But then you get to the seals or like the three sequences of the profile. It's like if you up like mirror it, it's like it starts with like the line one, right? You know, like the energy is naturally coming from like the individual. So if you're tuning in, it's like each line, if you're looking at a hexagram, each gene key is made and constitutes of six lines, which we call a hexagram. And it's like the first line is at the level of the individual, the second, the level of the relationship, the third at the level of the family or unit, the fourth at the level of community or a network, and the fifth a society. And then the sixth would be like the next world or new earth, or the
The system
I guess
building.
yeah system is good. Yeah, that's a good one. And I like there's like a really good slide too, which maybe we can go into the end, but it's like um about those levels and the new world and like a new world, you know, like and like how the system like supports you, you know, and like cherishes you at those levels. So, um, but I like going through the six because then it's kind of like telling the story from the level of involution,
Yeah.
and it really starts with the 63rd gene key.
Which is the pulse right now.
Yes.
Love it.
Um,
Love it.
so
Let's start with the six. Let's do it. The essence of the line six.
yeah, I'm curious. I feel like a honorary line six just because I have like so many line ones. I just add them up.
I've always said that line one and line six are standing in the same place, looking
Right.
in different directions.
Okay. I like
Right.
that.
Like
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
feet are on the same spot on the ground. Line one's looking that way, line six is looking that way, and like
Mhm.
they meet back up, you know.
Mhm.
Mm, 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 mm.
I feel that really deeply when I think of like people in my life that exemplify
Mhm.
that line six energy. Which is yeah, like I said, it's like you have like 1 foot. You know, they basically have like 1 foot in the new paradigm. You know,
Yes.
in this like in this unity consciousness or
Yeah.
um, collective intelligence, you know? So they have 1 foot in that and then 1 foot in this world. So it's like they have, but this line can have like a tendency to like feel kind of aloof, you know? Because not only, it's harder for them, I guess, in my experience as I relate to him, for them to see the point of
Yes.
like a lot of the mundane things, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so But in that way, I mean, because they have that one foot in the future or in the now, like they're amazing teachers and
Mm,
listeners
mm, mhm,
and really guides, you know. Um, but yeah, they always more than any key, I think, I don't know, like Richard says it, but like the line six, I find anytime I find myself relating through that lens, it's like the lesson is patience.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and, like, all of the amazing line sixes I work with, and my husband's a line six in his purpose, and I'm a line one in my purpose, so, like, that difference is quite profound, yet really close
Mhm.
at the same time, but, you know, I find for line sixes that it's about learning how to navigate life as that visionary without cutting yourself off because of the pain of holding the vision.
Mhm.
So, you know, the line six that, like you say, has the foot in the next world, has this vision of where we're headed and why we need to head there. Yet their life is about learning to navigate the gap between their vision and reality without letting go of the vision or
Right.
without letting go of themselves. It's about how do you welcome those two things to live alongside each other in this world where your vision has not been made manifest yet. And
Right.
I feel like that's the biggest challenge because with the line six, it's the wound of separation. And
Right.
so the six will either separate themselves from the vision
Mhm.
because it feels too painful, or they'll live in the vision and separate themselves from the world because
Right.
it's too painful. And so the six for me is about the very patient, gentle journey of welcoming those two things, those very contradictory things,
Mhm.
to live alongside each other. And then I think that the reason why the antidote to separation and the wound of the six is care is because you have to learn that you're safe to care about that which feels contradictory. You're safe to care about that which
Mm.
might not be made manifest, yet it's your mission in this lifetime to care anyway, because,
Right. Like
you
you're
know,
here.
that's what you're here for. And a
Yeah.
visionary is not just about living this life where you have a vision and you fully live it out and boom, it's done in this lifetime. A visionary is about taking something from the next world and ushering it in, even if
Right.
you only usher in 1% of that vision.
Mhm.
That's the job of the visionary. But that comes with pain. It's very
Right.
particular kind of pain. While, say, a line 4 will have to deal with the pain of community and rejection and all of that, line 6 is dealing with a different kind of pain. A a much more distant kind of pain of learning how to be a spirit and a soul in a physical
Mhm.
body that has limitation, yet also is destined to live out a certain level of that vision. And that's what I really think about with the 6.
No, for sure. That was beautiful. Yeah, care is like I read that too is like the strategy, the best strategy for line six, or like a big reminder is like to include yourself
Mm,
in life, you know, because it's
yeah,
like so easy to just be like, oh, this for the line six to be like, this doesn't make sense to me. It's not for me, you know.
yeah. Well, no one
But
understands me, so I don't belong here.
exactly, you know,
Mhm.
and in the same breath, it's like the vision is only a piece. And it's like everybody holds a piece of the same vision, you know? So it's like that's like an important reminder is be like, it's like one slice of the same vision, you know? And we
Mhm.
each have an ideal like that we carry.
Mm,
But the reality of it is like so much closer for that line six, you know?
mhm.
That the world, I mean, I have a lot of empathy because it's like that's not with as like someone in I guess like with that a lot of like who identifies too like with like a lot of the line one characteristics, like I feel that and I'm just like, yeah, it's tough, you know? Like the world must look fucking insane Something.
Yeah. Especially like with the seal for 6 being truth. It's
Sure.
like the line 6 can tune in to pieces of that truth, and then you're looking through your 2 eyes in this world, and nothing seems to be lining up
Right.
with the truth.
Mhm.
Yet that is the path. The path is deepening in and opening so that we can usher that truth in instead of feeling truth, looking, not seeing truth, and then being like, that's too painful. There's no point. It's too far apart. It's too separate. Why bother? Like you were saying, all of those feelings. Versus, yeah, the 6 being the gift of curiosity to remain open to, sorry, inquiry, I like to call it curiosity, to remain open, to remain playful, to, um, to bring a sense of play to the
Mhm.
visionary, because truth is only really ever revealed through the child's mind anyway.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you seen the video, Richard, it's called, Your Beautiful Mind?
Mm-mm.
Okay. That's like I feel like if there's like one like fragments of light that's like should be in the synthesis, I think it's that one. Because
Ooh.
he breaks down through the aperture of the lines, the like are essentially victim line. So at like the for the line 6, it's like they are to blame.
Oh, no, I have seen that. I have seen that. It's in the optional materials in the course. It is.
Yeah, yeah, with that, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but it's like so it shows
Mhm.
how like these like energies are like woven into the fabric for a
Yes,
language and like
yes.
the fabric of the Maya and how
Uh-huh.
um like because they are, it's like those are like it's like our language at a certain level that is trapping us
Mhm.
through our
Mhm.
view. But like the highest aspect is like to see like they are love through the context of the video, you know. So like the line 6 is um as like a guide or like you said, like ushering in is like so powerful and like
Mm.
cultivating like that truth of
Mhm.
that like they are love. This is love.
Mhm.
It's all love. You know?
Mhm.
Not like oh whitewashy or
Yeah.
to like bypass it. Like it doesn't bypass, you know, because it's listening so deeply.
Yeah.
That's like the highest
Yeah.
aspect of line 6. But at the same time with line 6 it's like it can't get bypassed.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it has more danger because it um than some of the other lines, or it's just like a slippery slope because it is more about being, and this world is so like in favor of becoming something constantly.
Yes, yes. In the evolution, the line 6 deep dive shadow keynote is seeking resolution. So like the line 6 undermines itself when it's seeking to find resolution to the gap between truth and reality. And as long as it's seeking complete resolution, it will be miserable.
Mm,
And just
mhm,
welcoming in that patience, and like you were saying, that the looking at it through that lens of love, which deepens you into where the truth exists in the now, and seeing that the gap isn't actually as big as we think it is when we welcome ourselves back into our bodies and into life just as it is. Like, ooh, oh, Tanya just commenting. She's like, bang on, Tanya. She's a line 6 radiance purpose, and she's a line 6 vocation core wound as well. So, whew, should be feeling this. Well, should we move on to line 5, because we're already 36 minutes into our line.
oh
We've
yeah,
got 5 lines to
we're just
go.
ripping. Yeah, I mean, I think even through the seal, I was like, this is more like I'll say the last thing in the line 6.
Mm.
We'll probably fly through the other ones, but uh, yeah, like I think through the human design lens, I'm not sure, but like it's like the patience is because like a lot of these um they just take time, you know. And there's one thing is like that I resonate because I have one line 6 to the star pearl, and I think about it in like terms of my creativity, but like the line 6 as it's like figuring out that gap, like is like needs like no negativity as it's closing the gap, Um, otherwise it spins out. It's like a very delicate, and I think that's like in the purpose or maybe in the radiance, but it's like, if you think about it in like terms of like this new awareness coming online, and that's like what they have relation to. It's like a deep sensitivity. So like when you're dealing with children and such, it's like you can hold these things in your heart, um, and relate that way. Okay, and through the seals, and they're like this channel, like the 63 and the fifth seal
Mhm.
are connected and through a channel. So I mean, but we'll just keep flowing with the lines.
Oh,
Uh,
I love the line 5. I mean, I think I'm biased because I've got a line 5 as my life's work in a position, and then I've got a line 5 as my pearl as well, and I'm a line 5 in my creativity. So like all of these kind of really potent places that I'm in love with in terms of my life, a very heavy line 5 energy. And then the seal for line 5 is gene key 4, and that's my purpose gene key.
right.
And so I just feel deeply connected to the line 5 essence, and I feel like a lot of what I have peeled back in the last 4 or 5 years since diving deeply into the gene keys is a lot of the pressure that can build up around the line 5. Um, and this is sort of like the key piece for me, like in terms of the practical pieces, which this is why I'm so drawn to the practical pieces, because the practical lives in the line 5 and I'm a line 5 so
Mhm.
like this line 5 essence, where the line 6 is that visionary and that teacher and that kind of leader of the new world. The line 5 is more the leader in the world as it is, that's kind of bridging the gap from the 5 to the 6.
Mhm.
Where the 6 might hold the big vision, and then the 5 can take that vision and go, okay, and this is what we can do now, to like start to bring that into the world. And so while the 6 has to deal with the pain of the vision not made manifest yet, the line 5 has to deal with the pressure of feeling like they have to be the leader, having to deal with the pressure around leadership of being afraid to get it wrong, or being
Right.
afraid to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, where it has the pressure to feel like it has to fix everybody, that it has this pressure to be successful, this pressure to have to be seen because it has such a deep yearning for impact.
Right.
But I think that the line 5, a big part of the line 5 journey is around redefining what impact even is.
Yes. That's good.
And, because
And
that's been a journey that I've been on as a line 5, because I used to think that impact was measurable through visibility. The more visibility you have, the more impact you're having. The more people that interact with your stuff, the more impact you're having. The more stuff that you can do and it's seen and it's consumed, the more impact you're having. And if you view impact through that way as a line 5, it will fucking crush you.
right.
And then you feel like you can't get access to the very thing that you're meant to be having an impact through, because it feels like it's inside a pressure cooker. And so for a line 5, it's about peeling back what impact truly is. And I think for me, the piece that really cuts through it is, as a line 5, I have shifted from I need to have an impact to I am impact when I am simply myself.
Right. Yeah. I think so much of the line 5 is like aura. 'Cause
Amplification,
yeah.
radiance. Yeah.
And I wouldn't even say that like the line 6 is like the line 6, the teacher. I think like behind, like if we're talking alignment, it's like behind the line 5 is the line 6
Mm.
guiding,
Mhm. Mhm.
listening. And it's like, but it's not like the line 6 doesn't want to be the voice. It doesn't want to be like in the front seat, But the line
Yeah.
5 has this natural aura where, like, if, like, people look to it for answers, you know?
Mm.
Like, responsibility is, like, thrust upon it,
Mhm.
and like, in a group or, like, in our world, and it also sees the world and, like, through that societal lens where it's like it can see really big patterns,
Yeah.
um, and, like, practical solutions for it,
Mhm.
but it's also still, uh, human, you know?
And
So it's
that's
like
why this
so
that's
it's
why the
like
seal is forgiveness, right? Because the line 5 has to forgive itself that it doesn't have all the answers.
for sure, yeah, because and also because it, like, it's even more heady because, like, more than any other line, probably, it sees the ways in which its own wounding is affecting the world through its actions, you know?
Mhm.
Which
Mhm.
can be like, "I'm trying to help, but I don't even know why I'm" like, I can see why I don't know. It's like I'm doing everything that I can to help, but it's still not working, and I see that, like, I'm also part of the problem, but I don't
That
know how to
and
solve
that's the pressure, right? Like, that's the shadow side of responsibility
Sure.
in terms of the line 5, and in the vocation, the line 5 is called management, and I think that there is a shadow side to management where you're trying to manage
Mhm.
everybody's problems, you're trying to manage people's perception of you, you're trying to manage, like, feeling like you're taking the whole world on your shoulders, trying to manage that versus the highest state of management is managing the frequency of your own heart. That, like how you said, it's about aura, it's about
Yeah.
radiance, it's about amplification. So, really, the only thing a line 5 ever has to manage is like its own frequency, its own attitude, its own openness, its own love, and its own forgiveness. And as long as the line 5 is kind of approaching its solutions through the lens of forgiveness and understanding both for themselves and for the world around it, not expecting their solutions to be grabbed by someone and everything's solved. Because a line 5, speaking from experience, can feel like you can gaze on someone's life, see it as a whole picture, and you can see exactly what needs to happen for everything to slot in perfectly. And you can give that guidance, but that doesn't mean that the person's gonna take that guidance and be able to do it straight away, and the line 5 also has to deal with that and forgive them for not being able to do it, and then forgiving yourself for thinking that you had the answer anyway. It's like this such this weird,
Right. No, yeah, it's like
relationship with the world.
it can yeah, the line 5 can be a head trip, which is why it's good to just, it's there's a seduction in the aura, you know? I think
Mhm.
HD, it's like seduced or seduced.
Yeah.
So there's like this mystique, and it's
Mhm.
like because people know you have the answer to something
Yeah.
in some way. Like there's some they think that like you can help them and you can't. But
Yeah.
it's like uh that can be misinterpreted like so many different ways. If like the
Mhm.
tone isn't dialed and you
Mhm.
think about that, like the line 6 as the ajna, and then it comes down to the voice. And
Mm.
it's like really the line 5 is about tone and
Mhm.
um uh yeah, like precision and like boundaries, you know? Like a
Yeah.
clarity in like what they're saying.
Yeah. And not
Uh,
making too many promises,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
like humbling themselves and having that humility come into the leadership where they're not tipping into arrogance. That Gene Key 31, I think, is very connected to the line 5, because line 5 is a leadership frequency, but it's like,
Sure. Sure.
you know, not getting into that arrogance where you think you know everything. Because a line 5 can kind of look at the world and think it knows everything,
Mhm.
but you don't. You know nothing. Yet you are still destined to have an impact, and you are still destined to share your voice, but it is about navigating how you do that from the heart. Because if you do it as a line 5 from the head, you're going to do it through dominance, you're going to do it through arrogance, you're going to do it through, um, it's a line 5's like something that, something that I have had to learn a lot of in my life, and it's been a theme of my life since I was like 3. Like young child, I thought that I was the shit. I've had to
Well, I
humble.
got news for you. You already should. Probably on to it.
I've had to go on a journey
Right.
of humbling.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of, and this might, I don't know if any other line 5s resonate with this. And this is me bearing some of the deepest, darkest spots of my soul. These are some of the bits that sometimes I don't like to show the world because I can lack forgiveness for myself around this. But a lot of the conversation around spiritual and personal development is usually around like, I don't feel worthy enough, so I've got to build my worth. As a line 5, I feel like I've been on the opposite journey of I felt too worthy and I had to humble myself.
Entitlement
Mhm.
sort of thing. Yeah.
And that
I
is
track
the
that.
most
Yeah.
uncomfortable thing, like internally for me, is the truth of that in my past. And that's where that forgiveness, like I even feel fucked inside of myself right now, even saying it, because like that's like that's a sore spot for me around
Yeah.
feeling ashamed or guilty for ever having felt that way. Because as the layers have peeled back and I've like humbled myself, but then like it's this pattern that can catch me sometimes where I can kind of go back to thinking too highly of myself. So I never had the issue of imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough. I've had the opposite problem where I felt too about myself. But
Well,
that's the
yeah.
same wound though, because that's still a wound of low self-worth.
Right.
Just through the line 5, it's projected in the opposite sense.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And
Mhm.
it's like, and it honestly, I like the way I see it, like it creates, like it's because the like where it's level of transpersonal, it just like makes so many more waves of discord,
Yeah.
like in relating and whatnot, that it's like it's heavy, like guilt is heavy, you know,
Mm.
and
Mhm. Mm.
it can just be burdensome. But at the, you know, to pick it up, it's like, or like what you're saying, like from the heart, and it's like, yeah, but it's also like where the heart and the head meet, like through the voice,
Right there in the throat.
right? That like there's so much synthesis that happens through the line 5, and
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I'll share my line 1 echo of what you were sharing
Yeah.
about like what I haven't had to worry about, but when we get there, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think the like through the life's work, it's like the line 5 is here to change the way people behave,
Mhm.
which is like in itself a crazy amount of responsibility, but
Mhm.
it's also like, yeah, it's like that is like you like the line 5 is convincing, And very convincing. I resonate with that part of it. It's like I could be
Mm.
very convincing.
Mm. It can convince people into some bad shit,
Right, yeah. The one I
right?
think so. It's like uh so yeah, like humility is a
Mm.
great strategy, I think.
Absolutely. Vulnerability,
Yeah, vulnerability.
humility, just always coming back to that humble nature and yeah, allowing yourself to be in love with the service instead of the outcome of the service, I think. And that's where I think now the line 4 that kind of is standing in front of the line 5 is this beautiful antidote to the line 5, and that's this heart. Like moving down in the chakras as we're coming down, like line 4 is this beautiful heart chakra and
Mhm.
this community-based belonging and this and I've got the 4 again is quite heavy. I've got it in my attraction sphere. I've got it in my geez, why am I forgetting where I have it? I've got it in my vocation and I've got it in my culture.
Right.
So core wound slash vocation. So this is like in terms of seven sacred seals and the wounding, like this is my core wound
Sure.
for the line 4 of rejection, right? This core wound of rejection, which because, and with that line 4, how it only has the fear of rejection because its deepest desire is to love and be with people. So it's like, of course, the line 5 fears rejection because that's just the fear expression of the truest of the purity in its heart to want to bring people together, to want to share its love with people, and that the fear of sharing your love and having it rejected by another. But the line 4 is about realizing that the only rejection that exists is self-rejection.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
as long as you never reject yourself, now you are safe to flood your love out into the world. And
Mhm.
coming back to the truth of that love in your heart, I think serves the line 5 in its leadership beautifully. And like every line 5 needs a line 4, and every line 5 needs a line 6.
Right.
Like as you were saying, we all hold these different pieces to the vision. The line 5 can be there on the stage sharing its things, but the line 4 and the line 6 are really needed, and so are the 3, the 2, and the 1. Like, we all hold the pieces to the overall transformation, and so, yeah, that beautiful 4 of holding the heart in all of this. Like, what do you think in terms of the line 4? What comes up for you?
Well, what just came to mind was like the line 5 really gets its gratification, or it's like it sees the mirror of it's like what it's doing for
Mhm.
through the line 4. It's like, oh, it's like this communal aspect, you know? That's why it's like coming down from this level. That's why we're organizing or like thinking about things with this.
Mhm.
Um, and the line 4, just the biggest hearts, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
gentleness is always the word that comes to mind. Like line 4 just needs gentleness, but like on the flip side of that, they can end up being some of the most harsh people on the
Cold.
in the planet, you know? Like my line 4 could be like it's like mean without knowing that it's being mean.
Mhm.
And but then you also get to see that it's like really just like an awareness thing, you know? There's so much innocence in it, but and it's funny, it's because like the line 4 will see the innocence in other people in like a second, but it won't see it in itself.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You
and a
know?
line 4 is only ever mean when it's petrified to be rejected, and that's why it's being mean because it's trying to push people away before they can do it to you. So,
Right.
like, the line 4, this deep, deep wounding of rejection, and, as I, have dove very deep into this, having it as my core wound, tracking that rejection all the way back to the umbilical cord being cut. Like, that being this first feeling of rejection from being in deep connection with not only your mother, but that umbilical cord is kind of your connection into another world, like into the cosmic mother, and feeling rejected from
Right.
where you were connected and bound, and kind of and from that first moment of, getting expelled out of your little birthplace, um, coming to see that then all of these other ways that we thought we'd been rejected our whole lives through friendships or relationships, it was never
Mhm.
actually about that. It was about this deeper fear of being disconnected from the whole, or being disconnected from the heart. And yeah,
Yeah,
once you come to see that no one can really reject you.
I mean, this is a really big one for like well, to piggyback off what you said, like you need like for me even going farther into like just like the spark of this consciousness from source, like we're rejected from ultimate truth, you know, or whatever lens you take on it. But like you really, yeah, you get to this level, you start to see how the wound is like really hexagonal.
Mm.
And Yeah, the line 4 always makes me think of the 36.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I
Humanity,
like
compassion.
Yeah, I feel like, like everybody can relate to being like hard on themselves, you know? Like no one is more judgmental towards themselves than ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like we are the worst critics of ourselves. Um,
The line 4
yeah,
likes to think that it's everybody else because then it can remain in its wound,
right.
can remain in its victimhood. Well, if everybody else, it's my friends, it's people. Da, 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 da. Mm-mm.
Mm,
This is about your relationship with your own heart.
mm. Yeah, do that. I mean, like you just find like the deeper you dive into line 4, like you will find just like immense layers of compassion, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
unfolding from it. And
yeah,
there's like one really, I don't know which chat is for Richard and like the activation sequence, but he's like talking about this line 4 and referencing someone who is like, "Oh, I give love, but I don't get anything back."
yes,
And he's like, "So what? Give love. I keep giving, like just
yeah,
giving." Like this line 4, I was like, can give so much, and just for the sake of giving,
yeah,
But
yeah. The
it
moment
can't.
the line 4 has the agenda that, okay, I'm going to give my love and I expect to receive it back from you,
Sure.
this is where the line 4 can walk around with so many wounds, and then they get to a point where they go, I've been hurt too much in the past. It's not safe to give of my love.
Right. But
No.
right.
No.
And
Like,
it's
and
also like,
that's the
sorry, go on.
selfishness. It's the selfishness of the line 4,
Sure.
where it forms this whole world view around believing that it's only safe to love on others when those others love them back, because it's fearing rejection so much. So when it's looking through the lens of the fear of being rejected, all you will come across in this life is, I'm not safe to share my love. Whereas
Mhm.
when you remove that fear of rejection, when you remove this warped idea that where I pour love is where I should get it back from, and instead broaden that awareness to the epiphany. I mean, epiphany is the sacred seal here, Gene Key 43, that
Mhm.
when you pour love into one place, you will receive it back, but not necessarily from that place where you poured it.
Sure.
Because when you pour love into a person, you're actually pouring love into the collective. You're pouring love into the interconnectedness of all things. And if you pour love into a friend over here who fucking ghosts you, life will be loving you back through the sunshine coming through your window onto your face. Life will be loving you back through, your husband or your dog, or it's like all places are interconnected. When you see that, now you return to the safety to fucking love, because as a line 4, that at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to fulfill you, is to just give your big love. And what is it? The circuit breaker for the line 4 in the evolution is something like break out of like self-obsession, realizing your problems are small, and to surrender into your big love. you know?
Mhm.
Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Tanya, the line 4. She's the line 4 in her life's work. Big lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel
Mm,
that. And also like the line 4, like if I just have people in my life that remind me of this. Is like how I learned the deepest about them. It's
mhm,
like often they're playing like this really complex kind of like balance game
mhm,
unspoken,
mhm,
you know? So
mhm.
it's like these kind of like it expects reciprocity without necessarily always naming it.
Yeah,
And so it like finds itself people pleasing, expecting that
yeah,
that kind of reciprocity is going to be like unspoken and like registered, but it's just not. So
yeah,
they find themselves in this spiral of letdown
yeah,
when really it's
yes,
like the world needs them to take care of themselves so they can keep giving to the world, which is like why the always the soundtrack, but it's like and like the level at which it wants to give is capped by how much it allows itself to receive.
yes. this, and just exactly what you're saying, for me being a line 4 on my vocation and my culture, that's been my journey with my business. Like, as a big part of it, I first had to peel back all the pressure of the line 5 in my brand. But then it was really about this line 4 of coming to realize that
Sure.
I am safe to pour love into my community without needing anything for that, purely because that's what my heart truly, at its purest form, just wants
Right.
to pour love in there without. And so then when you strip back the need for that to mean anything except for my love just coming out, now I'm fucking free to serve from the true emanation in my heart. Not
Right.
from all of, because like when I would get caught up in that need, like, if someone would cancel their membership like 3 years ago, it's like a knife in my fucking heart. Because
Right.
I'd feel like, oh my God, did I not serve you well enough? Did you, da, 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 da. The line
I
4
yeah,
helped me to
yeah.
peel back all of that bullshit, because that was just me getting caught in the fear realms where I was being selfish. But the truth, I actually wasn't selfish at the core. At the core, I just had this pure love that wants to be shared. And when I strip back all of the fears around it, now I'm just safe to fucking serve. I'm safe
Mhm.
to love. If someone doesn't show up to a Zoom call or something, that doesn't mean anything about my big love.
Right.
Nothing. And I'm safe to just keep pouring. I'm safe to just keep sharing. I'm safe to follow whatever my heart is talking about. And that's the Gene Key 43 of this sacred seal. The shadow of Gene Key 43 is listening out here for the truth, listening out here for the answers. And it all feels so complex. It all feels so yuck. Whereas Gene Key 43 is about drowning out all of that noise and listening only to your heart.
Right.
And so as a line 4, when you listen only to your heart, not the results of your heart, not what other people talk about or how other people receive your love, just listen to the love, you're free. You're literally free. Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Jackie, for your kind words.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah. I think of like you were saying, it's like, oh, now I'm free to give. I'm free to serve.
Yes.
It's like you get electrified. Like you can feel like the electricity, which I think about that through iridescence, which is like the light frequency of that force seal. And it's like, yeah, it's just like this electrifying energy. And it's also about like spreading those colors like across your vista, across your different levels of like your community. And like this, I think the deep gift of this like fourth line is like it creates community like everywhere it goes. And it's like through the giving, but it's also like just like it's super attuned to like the needs of the group, and like can figure out like this the politician part of it, right? It's like it can understand intuitively like what different people are needing, like where connections can be made. And like it just like gives to where it sees those bridges
Mm-hmm.
forming. So
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm, mhm, mm. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Should we should we do lines 1, 2, and 3 in another call?
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. It
I
just
think
feels
fun.
like, because like this feels so juicy, and I don't want to rush over 1 to 3,
Maybe.
like the depth that we've kind of grabbed the essence of, and even with the lines 1, 2, and 3 are like the first iteration, and then 3, 4, and 5 are this second iteration of the 1, 2, and 3. So like the 4 is connected to the 1, the 5 is connected to the 2, the 6 is connected to the 3. And so the line 4, 5, and 6 are about like me in out here in the world. And the 1, 2, and 3 are about me as a person in like my closer interactions. And I love that, yeah, like the 4, 5, and 6 are like a broader reverberation of the other 3 lines.
Personal.
Um,
I think
yeah.
of like personal and transpersonal.
Mhm.
So it's like you hit the 4, it's like the individual self within the collective.
Mhm.
And the 5, it's like the relationships within.
Like the
uh,
passion, but like sending it out.
right. Or like
the line
relationship
6, like
between
the
communities. Yeah. Which is a mirror, but the yeah, it's so funny. You're riffing on something just before about the line 4, and I was like, um, thinking about it in the context of like line 1, and I was like, I feel that like I could feel that go super deeply. Should have wrote down. But yeah, I have the line 4 in my SQ. So
What a special place to have a line 4.
yeah,
Nah.
right. I think someone said in the chat too. I don't know how to do it. Or line 5. Jackie does. SQ. They're all there. They're all in everything. Um, uh, yeah, like the line 4. There's like a lot of celebration in this line too. I feel, but it's like, just like celebration through connection. Doesn't have to be like I don't want to get too much in line 3, but it's like different, kind of like what's there, and it's just like the connection itself is like the great celebration, and um, yeah, the thing that always like took my socks off when I was first exploring the seals and like the into it was like we reject others before we reject, so we don't feel just reject others first. And I noticed that pattern for my SQ was like deep. I would be like, okay, like particularly in my relationships, I'd be like, I'm done with this because I don't want to get to a point where I would feel like, because it's like you essentially like in the same way that like the line 4 can like be like the most inundating flood of love. It's like the fear around feeling that between someone else and then like losing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
is it's like terrifying,
Like
so we protect ourselves from it.
like the fear of grief, really,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
to love is to grieve. And if you sign yourself up for loving deeply, you sign yourself up for grieving deeply.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, that rejection is fueled by a fear to feel. And that's where you said the gene key 36. What's Hayley said, such a interesting perspective on the line for so good, so good. Love avoidance. Yeah, and avoidance is in the line 3, but then we see a lot of it in the line 4. This is how they build upon each other, right? So yeah, that fear, the 36, the turbulence, it's like the fear of the turbulence that comes with connection, because if you close yourself off from sharing your love for your whole life, you'll never have to grieve a loved one. You'll never have to, you'll never have to go through the death of someone you love because you held everyone at an arm's length. But guess what? You also won't experience the great love story of life. It's like, and I often think about that grief. Grief has been a big catalyst in my life and in my journey. And each time that I hit that deep, deep grief, it's just that reminder of I grieve to the depths I allow myself to love. And so how much of a privilege is it to experience this grief knowing that it came from my deep love?
Right.
And just, again, when we're safe to feel pain, when we're safe to suffer, you're safe to love. And when you're safe to love, you are free. And that's really what we're searching for. Yet we go and search for that freedom externally, again, like this gene key 43, the deafness to the inner world. We're looking for it out here. And we block our freedom by doing that. because we end up closing down our hearts at every turn, afraid that someone's going to take something away from us or make us feel a certain way. It's like, but if you're safe to experience the suffering that comes with love, you have truly freed your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that freed my entire service in the world as a line 4 vocation.
I
Just
love that.
free to love. And one of my beautiful friends, another guide, Samantha Vigalotti, she said to me we were just Zooming the other day, and she said this one statement to me, and it just ruined me, just brought the tears, and I was like, that is speaking into the core of my line 4. She said, Hayley, you've helped me to see that it is safe to be generous.
Mm.
And I think that's because charity
Yeah.
is the line 4, and the safety to be generous with your big love. And I think that is the truest mark of a line 4 and their genius. When you can sense that safety to share their big love without being the line 4 that's guarding their heart and just trickling it out if I know I can get something back. It's a yucky feeling off of a line 4. So,
And
and I think that's the same for the line 5 and 6.
absolutely, yeah.
It's that same thing. The line 5 is safe to share its leadership without needing anything back, and the line 6 is safe to be with its vision without needing anything back. So it all
Sure.
comes back to the heart.
Right.
Yeah. Hayley. Loving that, Hayley. Line 4 in her pearl with the 8. Oh, mediocrity. Yes, my friend. Hayley Lawrence is a Gene Key 55. She's got that 55 as well.
Signed up to get rocked.
I think she's a 55-6.
No.
I think she's a 55-6, yeah. Well, what a juicy conversation about 4, 5, and 6. And now I'm really excited to have a conversation on 1, 2, and 3. We can take it so deep.
Right. Yeah, I guess what was I gonna say? I was say something about like the epiphany of the line 4 being that like we are the epiphany, right? So it gets part of the heaviness of like rejection, or I guess I do that line to like you're beautiful mind. It's like we are the blame, but it's like that like moment of like we are love is like so freeing because you realize it's like inexhaustible, you know, and like
Yeah.
it just that the world is like really like supporting you just to love as deeply as you can. Um,
It's really,
yeah,
at
that
the
was
end
like
of the
the
day,
bridge.
it's the only thing at the end of the day that is blocking us from all that we yearn for is the protections and the defenses we've put up around our hearts because we believe that we are not safe to share our love. Like, I feel like everything comes back to that. Because then the line 1 is safe to be bold, the line 2 is safe to be passionate, the line 3 is safe to change, the line 4 is safe to love, the line 5 is safe to lead, the line 6 is safe to teach. When you
Yeah,
no longer have defenses around your heart.
that is the truth.
That is the truth. Pulse the current. Drop a croissant emoji.
Yes, just that like this.
Ah.
It's like, but like the line 4, it's like we're all just supporting each other in different levels, you know?
Yeah.
Because like the line 4, I guess I would have said like, what's it about gentleness, you know? It like really needs that in its like most intimate relationships. Like when it turns, it's like turns for support. It doesn't need um like necessarily like the line 5 and be like, this is practically like what you should do, you know?
Mm.
It just like I find at least in myself, it like really just like needs that softness. Or as like Richard says, it's like just remembering, and this goes for all lines, is like, especially when we're touching on the core wound, like these deep uh permutations of the world wound, it's like just remember like there's a small flame that will never go out. And it's about like just coaxing it back into a fire or a hearth. So um
Beautiful.
yeah. But yeah, I agree. And like that fire is like argument, like where humanity gathers around ultimately. So it does all come back to that in some ways. That's why I think the 36 and the 4 is just like that
Mm.
level of compassion. It's just like it all just like
Mm.
it's just waves and waves. And
Mm.
the best grief quote I ever hear is just I don't know who originated, but it's just like love with like nowhere to go.
Mm.
And that is like part of the line 4 challenge is like finding ways to
Yeah.
spread it all out.
Let it go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. 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 And in terms of where we're letting our love go, Lawrence, we are likely going to be shifting our lives over to YouTube soon because
So
we've got to tune into the heart and where things want to go. And I think you made a really good point about it being on YouTube to give people better access to coming and finding these conversations down the line.
yeah.
Just YouTube allows for that so much more with its SEO and for someone that's searching, say, line 4, 5, and 6, they could find this on YouTube if we were over on there. So, um,
Mhm.
and I'm excited. That feels like a very line 4 thing for the two of us of this collaboration, this trusting in the heart, this trusting in like a magnetism and where life wants to bring our love as it weaves together, but then weaves out into our community. And it's this is what we're here to do. We're here to tune in and follow the impulse. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm excited for us to see where that wants to take us.
Yeah, it feels a lot more aligned to me, especially like looking through these different wounds of like guilt and uh or I guess looking through like the lines of like in a transpersonal thing, like social media is like such a transpersonal experience, you know?
Mhm.
And I've been like really feeling we can nerd out on it later, but just like the toxicity that's like wrapped up into these like potentially like flimsy levels of what we consider connection, you know?
Mhm.
And like how they like fuel those the opportunity for these kind of just wounds to go around in circles. So and
Yeah.
create more separation essentially, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's under the guise of like more connection, it like I feel more distance uh from like the purpose behind it, you know? And but that's the it's like one side to it because I met you on Instagram. So it's like
Exactly. There's like such a paradox in there. Like for me, my entire business, every single person I have ever
right.
served, well, outside of a few people who have found me now through the Gene Keys website, but if we take that out of the equation, everything, all the impact that I've ever had has come because of Instagram. And so you know, and it's not about demonizing Instagram at all. I think what it's more about is Richard's transmission about the year of the closing door and where energy just simply isn't anymore and where energy is so clearly flowing. And so for me, it's about that line 4 of the insight and versus the depthness of tuning in and you're having the exact same feeling of just noticing that that same energy just doesn't want to come into Instagram anymore. But then when I tune into the energy of YouTube and having conversations and creating content over there, I feel it go like, like I can literally feel so much energy and excitement and vision that I just could use to tap into with Instagram, and I'm just not able to tap in. I'm like, oh, it's interesting. I think that it's just a natural shift in energy, a natural shift in yearning for depth, a natural shift in where our world is going and how it's shifting and changing. And yeah, it's not to say that Instagram's bad or wrong or anything like that. I still love Instagram and I'll still post certain kinds of content here. But for the deep bock and yearning in my heart and where it wants to flood its love,
Yeah.
we're going. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I feel
That's
that.
where we belong. And I feel like the depth to which the gene keys has unlocked in you and I
Mm,
deserves that depth deserves a platform that honors depth.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's like, you know, from like a broader kind of lens, it's just like, we didn't, as these technologies come online, like we, as especially as like social media's come online, we didn't have like much awareness about like what it means to like steward, you know,
Mm,
like technology responsibly. And I think it's great in the context of like these transpersonal lines because they are more about like moving and collective currents and like leadership and uh dissemination of information
mm,
down um to the personal level. So
mm,
the hope being that, you can have more intimacy
mm,
uh with whoever tunes in.
yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so I'm stoked, but yeah, also super thankful. I mean like I said, like Instagram has connected me with some wonderful people and
Yeah.
um
Well, there you
but
go.
there's like
We've got two people
slippery
that are going
slope.
to follow us to YouTube
Yeah,
already, Lawrence.
yeah.
Hayley and Jackie, they're going to follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yeah, I really
Super,
appreciate
super
it.
sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the other lines. Those are probably more of my
Yeah. 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 I'm like heavy in that back end of the community and the impact, and then like you're just gonna come through with such fucking juice in there. Even in the line too that you don't have, but just your connection to the archetype of the dancer, I think I'm really looking forward to just hearing you riff on that. So
yeah.
who knows
Okay.
whether that will be here or that will be on YouTube by then. It depends how fast the energy moves and what we talk about after this in our
Appreciate
in our voice notes to each other.
it.
But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And what a juicy, juicy conversation. And I can't wait for the next one, my friend. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. Cool.
Mhm.
Love you guys.
And I'll talk to you in WhatsApp, Lawrence, about our next
Mhm. This
moves.
is Mike.
Bye bye, everybody.
Yeah.
See ya.